Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Michael Reads. Thank you for joining me once again as we continue our journey through George S. Clason's timeless classic, The Richest Man in Babylon. Uh, I hope your day has gone well, and I hope you can hear me all well and proper. Yesterday we went through part 3A of this summary series of the book. And if you've been following through the series, I welcome you back. And if this is your first time joining me, I'm glad you're here today. We continue exploring the lessons that have made this book a favorite among readers interested in personal growth, financial education, and building their future. And in our previous discussion, we explored one of the most important chapters in the entire book, the 5 laws of gold. We discovered that wealth is not simply about having money, it is about understanding money. It is about developing the discipline to save, the wisdom to invest, and the patience to allow time to work in our favor. Today, we continue with 2 chapters that build upon these ideas because earning money is one challenge, growing it is another, but protecting what we build may be the greatest challenge of all. And before we begin, if you're enjoying this live stream and my live stream discussions, please consider supporting me by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, sharing this journey with someone who would benefit from these timeless lessons, and just giving me just general feedback, just to let me know what you think and how you feel about these Michael Rees live streams. And remember, if you haven't already, the full chapter by chapter readings of The Richest Man in Babylon are available in the playlist here on the channel, allowing you to go deeper into every lesson. Now, let's continue our journey through ancient Babylon with chapter 6, The Gold Lender of Babylon. This chapter introduces us to Rodan, a skilled craftsman who receives a reward from the king. Rodan has worked hard and developed his skills, and as recognition for his achievements, he receives a gift of 50 pieces of gold. For many people, receiving a sudden amount of money would feel like a dream come true, but the chapter asks an important question. What happens when opportunity arrives before wisdom has developed? Because having money and knowing what to do with money are 2 completely different things. Rodan suddenly finds himself in possession of something valuable, but almost immediately, someone close to him wants to use it. This creates the central conflict of the chapter. Should Rodan lend his gold to someone he cares about? Should he trust emotions? Or should he seek wise advice? This is where he meets Mathan, the gold lender of Babylon. So now we talk about the importance of wise counsel, where Mathan does not simply tell Rodan what decision to make, instead, he teaches him how to think. This is one of the most valuable lessons in the entire book. A wise teacher does not simply give answers. A wise teacher helps you develop the ability to make better decisions yourself. So Mathan explains that lending money requires careful consideration. A person's character matters. Their ability to repay matters. Their understanding of responsibility matters. Good intentions alone are simply not enough. This is a lesson that applies far beyond money. In life, we often make decisions based purely on emotion. We want to help, we want to support people, we want to believe the best, and those qualities are admirable. But wisdom requires balance. Compassion without wisdom can sometimes create problems. The difference between helping and enabling is one of the deeper messages in this chapter, and is the understanding of it is the difference between genuinely helping someone and simply removing the consequences of their choices. Sometimes the most helpful thing we can do is not provide an easy solution. Sometimes people need the opportunity to develop responsibility. Sometimes protecting someone from every difficulty prevents them from learning the lessons that create growth. This is true financially, professionally, and personally. This chapter really connects with a principle that I believe strongly in: taking 100% responsibility for everything that happens in your life without exception and without condition. You would have heard me mention that in many of my thoughts when it comes to the readings that I've done of the other books as well. So please check them out. They're all in playlist format. Responsibility is one of the foundations of growth. When we take responsibility, we become empowered. We avoid responsibility, we become dependent. Money follows the same principle. The person who learns to manage, protect, and grow their resources becomes more capable of creating opportunity. And then it touches on the importance of learning from experienced people. Another powerful lesson in this chapter is the importance of seeking advice from people who have experience. This seems obvious, but many people do the opposite. They seek financial advice from friends who have never built wealth. They follow opinions from people who have never achieved the result they desire. They make emotional decisions based on excitement or fear. Yet, when we want to improve in any area, we usually seek guidance from someone who has already achieved success. We hire coaches, we study experts, we learn from mentors. Financial decisions should be treated no differently. Although this story takes place thousands of years ago, the message remains incredibly relevant. Today, we have access to more financial information than any generation before us. But information alone does not create wisdom. The ability to separate good advice from bad advice is one of the most valuable skills we can develop. And that leads us to chapter 7, the walls of Babylon. At first glance, a chapter about the walls of an ancient city may seem unrelated to personal finance, but this is where George Clason demonstrates his storytelling ability. The walls of Babylon represented protection. They represented security, strength, and preparation. The people of Babylon were able to build a thriving civilization partly because they protected what they had created. And that principle applies directly to our own lives. Building protection around your future. Many people focus only on growth. How can I earn more? How can I invest more? How can I achieve more? Those are important questions, but another question deserves equal attention. How do I protect what I already have? A person can spend years building wealth and lose it quickly without proper protection. This applies to financial emergencies, poor decisions, unexpected events, and lack of preparation. The walls of Babylon remind us that defense matters as much as expansion. Preparation creates confidence. Think about the walls surrounding Babylon. They were not built because of the people expected disaster every day. They were built because wise people understand that preparation creates peace of mind. The same principle applies today. Having savings, having insurance, developing skills, building strong relationships, maintaining your health, those are all forms of protection. A strong foundation allows you to pursue opportunities with greater confidence. I think this chapter offers a lesson that applies to almost everything in life. Success is not only about building, it is also about maintaining. A business needs protection, a family needs protection, a career needs protection, a financial future needs your protection. Sometimes the most successful people are not the ones who take the biggest risks. They are the ones who understand how to manage risk wisely. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. When we combine these two chapters, a powerful theme appears. Chapter 6 teaches us to protect our wealth through wisdom. Chapter 7 teaches us to protect our lives through preparation. Together they remind us that success requires more than ambition. It requires responsibility. It requires thoughtfulness. It requires understanding that what we build deserves protection. And that brings us to the end of chapters 6 and 7 of The Richest Man in Babylon. Today we explored lessons that go beyond money. We learned about the importance of wise counsel. We learned about we learned that good intentions must be balanced with good judgment. We learned that preparation creates confidence. We learned that protecting what we build is just as important as building it in the first place. As always, I encourage you to take time after this live stream and reflect where in your life you need stronger walls. Where could you benefit from better advice? Where could you become more prepared? Because often the greatest improvements begin with honest questions. And if you've enjoyed today's discussion, please support me by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who would benefit from these ideas. And if you haven't yet explored the full Richest Man in Babylon playlist, I invite you to join me in the complete chapter readings. These discussions are designed to give you the overview, but the original book contains layers of wisdom that reveal themselves every time you return to it. So in our next part, which will be tomorrow at the same time, we continue into the final chapters of the main story. Chapter 8, the camel trader of Babylon, and chapter 9, the clay tablets of Babylon, and chapter 10, the luckiest man in Babylon. We will explore debt, financial recovery, discipline, and one of the most inspiring transformations in the entire book. But until then, as always, keep reading, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, the strongest futures are not built by hoping everything goes right. They're built by preparing ourselves for whatever comes our way. So thank you for taking your time with me. This was just a quick, brief video, but I look forward to seeing you on the next one tomorrow. And until then, thank you for joining me here on Michael Reads. Take care. Goodbye.